This week we are getting into orthographic drawings, and what those are, they are 2D drawings of a 3D object. And so for this I'll be doing the orthographic drawing exercise, and I have got my son's Mega Blocks here that I've put together in some sort of shape, interesting shape. And orthographic drawings are elevations, sections, plans. So we're going to be studying smaller objects to help us get a grasp on how to draw these types of views and how to study something in this way. Because it's something that orthographic drawings give us means to study proportion and how things are put together in a way that perspective drawings don't give us. So we're not using rulers as usual. This is not a drafting class, but we are still learning how to draw these types of orthographic drawings to understand spaces in a new way. So with this object, I'm going to go ahead and get started with my lightest line weight. We're going to be doing a lot of construction lines. They will be entirely useful for this type of project, this type of drawing. So thinking about an elevation is basically a side view. We're not including any perspective, so see how when I turn it this way I start to see all of these sides. No, we're not representing those sides. We're only representing the front faces that you can see right at eye level, as if all of these lines, they're projected out onto the page. So to start that, you're going to want to get a sense of the proportion. I usually like to start with some sort of a ground line. Now while you're drawing, you're going to want to leave room to also create another side view drawing and a plan view drawing. So keep that in mind as you're drawing. Mine will probably end up fairly small here so I can fit everything on the screen. So it's not going to be life size, but it's still going to be to scale. So I like to start with some sort of a ground line here. Okay, and then I see a horizontal line here that I'm going to add in. Make sure I draw it small enough. And then my next vertical line. Okay, so I'm going to start to get this base drawn here. And I see that this line is about halfway on my base, so I'm going to make a tick mark there. So this is what I mean with the analyzing. And we've got a curved surface here. That these drawings aren't necessarily meant to be beautiful. Got another halfway mark there. Beautiful perfection. They're more about studying an object, and see again using those construction lines, because anything that's supposed to be aligned, it's better to draw a continuous line so that everything lines up. Okay, that's drawn, and now this one, see how it would be really easy for me to start to show some of this perspective in the bottom, but no, really this bottom should be the same line as the top of the green there. They're the same. They're one and the same. Along with this green line here, we know that it continues to the red. So that's, again, one continuous line all the way up. This represents the bottom there. And then we've got the other side of the red piece. And then I use my kind of scale reference here that the red is the same size as the green. So you just have to do that as you go along to make sure you get things in the right proportion. Okay, now then what I would do, and I don't want to spend too much time here, but I would come back with my heavier line weight, especially for the overall outline. I'm just going to quickly do that so I can show you the next part. And so that way too, the construction lines will fade as you add your heavier line weights. Okay, so that is my side or front elevation, however you want to look at it. But now I want to draw the plan view, more like a roof plan, but the top view. And so I'm going to keep using those construction lines. I know that this is the green part here, right? The green and partially blue. And so when I turn, it's going to be the same line because you want it to be the exact same scale. So I'm going to pull my outer lines out, and same thing here. I've got this side line here that's going to still be my side and plan view. So I'm going to bring that line up as well. And then I just want to make sure I leave enough room here for me to draw the entire image here. So I'm going to also bring up this line, all the lines. This is my projection lines, okay? I'm going to use these to construct my plan based off of the elevation that I drew first. Okay, now coming across horizontally, get myself enough room here. I actually know that this green side and this green side align, so I'm just going to make a continuous line all the way across. And judging proportions there. So that gives me kind of the box I'm working with. And then, yeah, this part, this green part, it's curved, but I don't need to show any of that because this is a 2D representation. There's no other lines here. I'm just showing the outer edge and where it ends here to the red piece. And this line, again, all of this is along the same line. So that comes across. So really I just have to draw in the red piece and the other edges. Yeah, now this is split in the middle here. And I'm not going to belabor the circles, but if you're drawing circles, you want to take care to make sure they're placed nicely and that they also align, because they're the same. Okay, and then this circle as well. They should all be the same size, even though in my perspective the red is closer to me than the blue. But they're actually the same size. We know that. We know that as a fact. They're the same size. So you want them to be the same size all the way across. You're representing the true facts, the true proportions of the object, and then of the building when we get to that. Okay, so again, I would come back with heavier line weights to clean that up a bit. And then the next thing you want to do is another side view. So I'm just twisting from this side view that I drew to the other side view. And I know this video is getting kind of long, so I'll just quickly put in construction lines and the overall shape to bring everything over. Okay, so I think this gives you a good idea of what you're working with. Now your object, it doesn't have to be anything like this. It doesn't have to be something you build. It could be for your small objects like a gadget from the kitchen, garlic press, Parmesan cheese grater, something like that. Okay, so there it is blocked in, and I would clean this up with a heavier line weight. So that is how you make orthographic drawings from an object.